Okay. One is through programming and other one is through tool. What is the difference between programming and tool? Programming is nothing but set of instructions. What is set of instructions is, let me show you a simple program. So hope you all can able to see my screen. Please ping me if that is not able to. I'm opening a PyCharm application on my Windows. So see my screen. Here I do have some number of lines. Say suppose here I do have 46 lines. These lines are nothing but programming. I am writing a syntax which is understandable by a Python program. .py is the file extension for a Python program. So Python interpreter can able to understand if I give a file with .py. Okay. So here I have given some set of codes. All this code is going to understandable by my interpreter. Okay, this is what we call as programming language. Nothing but a set of instructions that we are giving to the interpreter or compiler. But if it is a tool, then how it is going to look like? Let me open a Paint console. You all know about Paint, right? So in Paint, how we are going to use the Paint? We'll use the tools which are available over here. Like there is a pencil icon, there is an eraser or a color picker or fill color. So all these are nothing but tools. So we'll select on the tool which we would like to use and we'll try to use that particular tool. In the similar way, Datastage is also a tool which is comes up in a GUI, in a graphical user interface. So their number of tools are going to available in our data stage console. Okay. We are going to use the tools as per our need, like how we discussed in an Instagram. If we try to upload a photo, we'll try to apply some filters, right? In a classic mode or in I mean, uh, there are a number of filters that are available. Say, think about in a HD and or minimizing the background or applying some cropping of the background. So many filters can be applied, right? In the similar fashion, when coming to the business requirement, the transformations are of different types. Say suppose uh, while purchasing something on in a retail shop, say suppose the same Reliance Trends. While buying something, they will ask our name, our mobile number, and they will capture on which particular date and what are all the products we have bought so that they will store all the customer data at a single place and they'll try to understand how a particular customer is picking their product from our store. So that what they'll do, say suppose I am purchasing only kids dresses, then they will send me a notification which is relevant to kids related products. Say suppose there is some winter offer win came on kids products, then immediately they'll send those notifications to the relative customers, the customers who are purchasing more of kids dresses. Or else say suppose some people are purchasing only in discount time. Okay. Then they are going to send notifications to the respective customers with those details. So how they can able to send those things is they are trying to analyze the customer data. Okay, Jansi is there. She is keep on buying only so and so product. So she would be liking the upcoming product because that is something related to what she is purchasing from our store. So to come up with such decision, they keep on try to analyze their data, not only customer data, any kind of data. If it is an insurance domain, then how they are going to do the data analysis? The main purpose of insurance is to claim it or to make use of the benefit, right? Say, suppose in my family, I do have three members having insurance to a particular provider. Then they will do research on our family members and what sort of other insurance providers that they are looking into, or what are all the type of claims that we have done so far. All the business, whenever we start a business, what is our main goal? To get some profit after serving the customers. Some business is going to be enriched when there is two side benefits happen. So it should be a Win-win case should happen in a business. Both the parties must be get benefit. Otherwise, the business will not last for long. So to have their business extended to large sector of people or to grow their business in a better way or to serve their customers in a better way, they should come up with some decision. To conclude some decision, they should know about their data. To know about their data, they need to do analysis on the data. So how they can able to perform all this analysis? Through ETL, right? That ETL can be implemented in two ways. One is programming, other one is tools. So programming, if we pick a programming, then there are programming languages like C, C++, .NET, or Java, Python, Scala, PySpark, so on. If it is a tool, then Datastage, Informatica, Talendo, uh, AWS Blue, Azure Data Factory, which is ADF, and so on. Okay. So this is the main difference between a tool and a program. We can apply ETL through programming and through tool itself. So what is the main difference? If it is a programming, then we need to know the syntax, right? If it is a Python syntax, we need to understand how interpreter is going to understand what user is giving. If it is a tool, then we need to learn how the tool compiler is going to understand. So basically, we try to understand what they do understand, and we try to learn the instructions. If I am giving some instruction to my machine, then the machine need to understand what we are giving so that it can able to process our need, right? So here, uh, going forward, we will try to learn the ETL process through Datastage tool. And in Datastage, there are three clients available. So this is my virtual machine. Can someone confirm me again if you can able to see my screen with the designer client, director client, and administrator client? Yes, Yanti. Okay, thanks. So these are the three main parts that are available in data stage. In designer client, we are going to develop the things. Through director client, we are going to monitor the jobs. So whatever we do develop in a designer client, that we call as a job. Whatever we do write as an instruction in a program, that we call as program. Java program, Python program, or C program. Whereas here, whatever we do develop in a data stage designer client, that we call as a job. Say, suppose I would like to execute that job and I would like to see each and every task that is implementing in a particular job, then I will use director client and admin client. Admin is something useful to set up the project. So these are all the three main parts that are involved in data stage. So I will explain each of this client and I will also explain what is this for and how we are going to develop jobs on a designer client. But before going that, let's also try to understand a couple of other things that we are planned for this session. That is nothing but data warehouse, purpose of data warehouse, and types. Let me show you how the console is looking like. So this is our data stage designer client, and this is one of the job. If you see, these are nothing but tools that I'm talking about. Say suppose my source is available on two systems. One is on a file and one is on a database. I'll also explain what is database and why we need it, why it is there. For now, try to understand in a high level. Say suppose I do have my source on two systems. One is on file system, one is on database. Then I would like to join these two things. I'll go to processing is nothing but transformation. So I'll pick the join stage, which is available over here. I'll drag and I'll drop. So I will link my input links to this particular join, and from here I'll take my output and saving to a file again. So here we do not need to write any programming language or any instructions. But instead of that, we need to drag the stages which are going to perform similar activity. So here I need to tell them where my database is located. I need to give those values and then I need to connect to that particular source. If it is a file, then where exactly my file is resided. Files means we are going to save on some path, right? So we are going to give where my file path is resided and we'll try to give the file name as well. So there are a couple other properties also there to do the connectivity. Once after connecting, we'll try to extract. So this getting data from this file and this particular Oracle connector is extracting. I am joining these two data, which is my current transformation. And again, I'm loading the final data to a particular target file. Okay. So applying ETL through available tools on my graphical user interface is uh, uh, related to my data stage ETL activity. So we call these things as parallel jobs. Here you can see it is a parallel job. We call whatever we do develop in Designer Console, we call them as jobs. And there are two main types of jobs. One is parallel job, other one is sequence. So we'll try to understand in more detailed way going further. But let's try to understand what exactly a tool is. Okay. So let's proceed further. So far, what we have understood is what is ETL and what is how data stage looks like and types of ETL tools or various ETL tools. And let's try to understand data warehouse. What is data warehouse? So warehousing is nothing but collecting the data, storing and managing the data from different sources to support a business to make or to come up with their decisions. Think about any business. In our example, we are talking about retail business, right? So their information might reside on different sources. Uh, to save 10 records, we can use a text file or we can use a Excel file. Say suppose I do have some thousands of data or some thousands of images. Then I will use a pen drive or else I will use a Google Drive or some sort of hard disk. Say suppose I do have 3 hours of videos and such videos I do have some 100 movies. I can store that 100 movies on my laptop because I could not save them on a pen drive or in a file, right? So when the data is goes on increasing, then we need to use different tool, right? Here we have seen, right? Say suppose we do have some thousand photos, we can manage them through our mobile itself. When the data is more in number, because in real time, business people need to handle more than those thousands or more than those millions, right? So when it is the case, then they are going to use database. So database is nothing but a place where we can save the data in a structured format. So it is going to have some columns and some rows. What is a column and what is a row? Say suppose there is a school called Bhavans. In Bhavans, we do have classes up to plus two, from starting from nursery till plus two. Bhavans been extended uh, throughout the country. So they might have some 500 plus schools or more than that. To maintain all this Bhavan's data, it is not sufficient to use an Excel or to use some other computer. They need to use some place where they can store this huge amount of data. But how they can able to store? They need to have details, right? Class one, subjects, and students. So whatever the students' information we are calling is called as actual data. And student name, student ID, roll number, father's name, subject one, subject two, subject three, all these things are called as columns or metadata. Okay, let me show you the same thing here in the Excel itself so that it will make more sense. So, student name, class, subject one, subject to. And likewise, we do have, say, suppose 7 subjects and total marks. Okay. And here I do have date. So here I do have how many students I do have here? 6 students, right? And these things, which is coming as subject. So this is telling about what kind of data it is having in this particular column. This A, B, C, D, all these things are called as columns, whereas 1, 2, 3, 4, all these things are called as rows. So my first row and first column, which is nothing but cell A1. Here you are going to get that cell number. If I click on B1, then it is going to show. So my A1, B1, C1, D1, all these things are saving the or giving the information about the below data, right? This particular column is giving the data about student name, and column B is giving me class details. Column C is giving subject 1 details. Likewise, I am going to get what my data is talking about. So this is being called as data about data because this is my actual data. This is what I'm looking for. But what it is, how I can able to know what it is through the header, right? This header is called as metadata or the data which is telling about the actual data. So if it is a database, then data is going to be saved in this format, in a structured table format. It is going to have some rows, it is going to have some columns as well. So like how you are seeing over here, in the similar fashion, you are going to save the data on database. So database is nothing but a place where we can save huge amount of data in a structured tabular format that is going to have rows and columns. My columns is nothing but the number of details that I do have. My rows is going to give my actual data. Okay. So where are we? Data warehouse. In data warehouse, what we are trying to do, we are trying to use n number of such source systems. So since the data size is going very large, since our single computer will not hold that large amount of data, we are going to use database. Database can able to handle very huge amount of data. That's the reason we are going to use databases for a business to make use of or to store their particular business relative information. So whatever in this retail sector that the example where we are discussing, so suppose I'm purchasing, my actual data is storing where on the back end they are trying to save that data on a database. The database is going to have tables and the tables will give certain information. Say suppose customer table. Customer table is going to handle customers related data. Employee table is going to handle their particular employee information. How many managers are there? How many branches are there? In each branch, how many employees are there? So all that data is going to be saved on a particular table called employee table. Likewise, on a database, we are going to have tables. In tables, we are going to have columns. In columns, we are going to save actual data. So when the size of data is increasing, we'll make use of the respective supporting system. If it is a structured data, then we are going to use databases. Say suppose now the data is not in structured format, right? So image cannot be saved in a structured format, right? Or videos cannot be saved in a structured format. So for saving non-structured data, there are other systems. So we will talk about more in detail when there is a need, but Datastage can able to handle As of now, structured data only. It cannot handle a photos or a videos for now. But there is cloud pack coming, which is cloud version of Datastage, and we will try to understand what is cloud and what is cloud version later. But to our point, data warehousing is going to collect the data from various databases and then it is going to apply the transformations. Sometimes we will not provide our mobile numbers, right? In such cases, they are not going to save that data to warehouse. They'll keep them aside because that is not going to give enough information for their business to come up with some certain requirement. So the needed transformations are going to apply on the legacy data, and finally they store quality data to a final storage system. That final storage system, we call it as data warehouse. The same being explained over here. Warehousing involves collecting, storing, and managing the data from different sources to come up with a better decision making. So what kind of decisions are needed? If it is a business, many number of decisions need to be taken care, right? Say suppose I do have Zudio, which is we do have Zudio centers, right, in Hyderabad. There are many Zudio outlets are available. In Kavuri Hills, the Zudio is not going well. The investment is making more losses rather than giving profits. Then it is good to decide to close that outlet, right? But to come up with that particular decision, how we can able to know that only Kavuri outlet is not giving good outcome, whereas it is only taking the investing. Only investment is happening, but no throughput is or no profit is coming out of that outlet. It is better to close instead of maintaining and investing money on that particular output. To know that one, first they need to analyze how many outlets are there in Hyderabad, how much investment is happening, and how many profits are how much of profit is coming from each of the branch, what is the least profit or what is the least loss, and what is the maximum loss. So it is, and how many stores loss percentage is high. So all these analysis need to be done before coming to a particular decision, right? That analysis can happen only if we do apply transformations, correct? So those transformations or those requirements will come to us as a task, then we need to apply such things in our code. Then we need to develop the relative jobs so that they are going to give quality information and that is going to be used by the business intelligence people to make so and so decision. So to make the decision, first we need to analyze the data. But to analyze the data, first we need to have a quality data. To come up with a quality data, we need to clean the data. So first, we need to clean the data, which is nothing but applying transformations on that particular data. Where we are going to save the quality data, that place is being called as warehouse. Warehouse, in a layman terms, warehouse is nothing but a place where we are storing some sort of, say, suppose I do have computer warehouse. What does that mean? A place where more number of computers are residing. In the similar way, data warehouse is nothing but a place where more data being saved and that data is coming with very quality, very cleaned with data is available, then that particular place being called as data warehouse. Why we need a warehouse? To come up with a best decision. And that decision is going to impact their business. If we do not do all these things, what will happen? There are numerous features are coming on each and every business. When we do have retail shops, that time how we are going to purchase the things, we do write a list of things what we need at home. Then we are going to give that paper to our parents or to our dad. He'll go to the retail shop and submit that paper to the people who are going to reside on the shop, and they are going to give. They'll sum up each of the product price, and they are going to at last they are going to give the things. But now each and everything is coming to our doorstep. There is this, if it is a food business, then Zomato, Swiggy, and so on is there. If it is a uh, retail store, Then this Blinkit, Zepto, and many others are there. If it is a milk product, then this Sits Farm, Country Delight, and many businesses are there. So each and every business is trying to help the customer in a best possible way. But how that is evolving with the help of latest trends that can be in technology or that can be in the ideology that is coming from the business perspective. So to come up with those ideas or to come up with those features, one should need to work on the problem which is being decided. So those things are involved in this decision making. So it is must to have best decision making to grow their business. If we do not have all those things, definitely we'll fall back. Our business will going to be fall back. So no business people will ready to lose their business, right? That's the main motive for their business to come up with best decision making. So they can't quit. They must uh, forward in this decision making. And to do the decision making, obviously they need to do all these steps one by one. So to do these steps, definitely they'll make use of the technology that is evolving. And in this technology, ETL also takes a place, out of which data stage is also have some place to perform that particular ETL activities. Okay. Hope you understand what is a data warehouse and why we need a data warehouse. Here you can see the purpose and benefits of warehouse. It is going to facilitate efficient reporting and analysis. What is efficient reporting and analysis? So Ratan Tata is there. He would like to know his business trends. If he asks for his business trends, then we can't go and show the data which is having in an Excel sheet or which is resided on some database. Definitely, we can able to show those things as a matrix, like how here we can see. The matrix can be a bar chart, a pie chart, or some sort of representation in a graphical way, because that is how we can able to show the trends, show the reports. That reporting is the end product for a business to come up with the decisions, right? So to come up with those reports, there are some other tools available. Power BI, Tableau. So these are some of the reporting tools. They are not going to perform any ETL activities, but they will create these dashboards having some pie charts, bar charts, histograms, or some sort of graphical representation. So to come up with those things, first we need to have a quality data, right? That quality data is nothing but warehousing. So if we do have warehousing, we can able to give efficient reporting and analysis, and we can also have a consolidated view of business. A scattered way of business data can be uh, come to a very consolidated and structured way only through warehousing. Because if I would like to have a overall picture of my business, where my business being extended throughout the country or throughout the globe, say on AWS, the business being extended throughout the globe, right? So if they would like to see their overall picture, they